Hello. Now, I am a professional tabletop role-playing game designer, and I have been wanting to play BG3 as soon as it came out. As soon as it came out, I was right there, gonna try and do everything that I could. But unfortunately, due to just having a lot of work and things that I needed to do, a lot of family stuff, whatever, I never really got the chance to play it until now. Now being a very opportune time because they added a little thing to the game called Honor Mode. Now, Honor Mode, as I'm sure most of you are aware, is absolutely wonderful because it makes the game feel like a tabletop role-playing game itself, and it makes it feel like a tabletop role-playing game with a very, very sadistic GM, which is fun in its own right. Definitely not necessarily the game style that's favorite for everyone, but some of us kind of thrive off of that. Now, I want to do an Honor Mode playthrough, but there's two things that make this a little bit unique compared to what you might have seen already. One is the fact that I still haven't played the game. I played the first act. I have two characters that I made on Tactician, that one of them's through the first act, the other one is halfway through the first act, and that's as far as I've gotten. I've done my best to avoid spoilers for second and third act. I've not looked up where cool items are or things like that. So it's really as close to feeling like doing this as a blind tabletop role-playing game playthrough as I think you can get, given, you know, given all things considered. And the second thing is I love making characters. So I don't want to just do one blind Honor Mode playthrough. I want to do 8. I have 2 characters I've made for Tactician, and then I have a whole bunch of other characters that I've been playing with in the back of my head. And none of these characters are normal. That sounds way too boring for me. So none of them are single class playthroughs. Every single one of them is multi-class, and every single one of them is an unorthodox multi-class. You know, there's certain combinations that people do that you might be familiar with that are just very common. You know, mixing, what is it, Paladin and Warlock, or Paladin and Sorcerer, doing like a Ranger, Druid or something. You know, the common advice that people give about, oh, you have to avoid making your character too mad, multi-ability dependent. You got to keep them all set. There's certain abilities that just gel well, certain combos, and that's what everybody goes to. Certain cores of the internet really don't like the idea of doing table tutorials. No. Every single one of my characters is not that. Every single one of them is something weird, either something unorthodox or something mad. And I think the idea of taking a whole bunch of character concepts that shouldn't work and sticking them all together and sending them through an honor playthrough and seeing how far each one gets, what they can do, where maybe they fall apart, sounds like a whole lot of fun to me. And so that's what I'm doing. The 2 characters that I already have in Tactician, I'm not gonna remake. I'm not gonna try redoing them in Honor, as much as I kind of wish that I could. They're wonderful characters, but the rest of them I absolutely am going to do. Just checking my notes that I've made to remind myself what they look like. I've made all these characters in Tactician. I'm going to be remaking them right now. Yeah. Making sure I don't mess anything up. So, like, the first character, the one that has gotten through the first act, brilliant character, named him Artemis. He is a multi-class bard monk. So currently, I think he's level 7. I've got like 6 levels of bard, 1 level of monk, just a short dip at this point. Probably going to be building up monk a little bit further after that. What was my plan? I have to review all this in my head. I don't want to mess it up when I'm remaking these characters. But it was absolutely wonderful. I remember the first time that I mentioned that, people looked at me like I was crazy. You know, what on earth are you doing? Why would you mix those two classes together? That's weird. But in practice, especially with the changes that BG3 made to tabletop rules, worked kind of perfectly. The character just was a bard that could frontline as well as a fighter because they had both a sword and shield and could get a second attack with, you know, ability score modifier added onto it, like two-weapon fighting style right there, and that meant that I had a frontline fighter, 2 attacks, good AC, who also had all the bardic spells. Worked really, really well together. The second character, again, weird multi-class combination, really fun to play, has been my attempt to create like an artificer. There's no artificer in this game, but that kind of like a technician, inventor kind of character. And so what I ended up doing is a multi-class rogue, ranger, and wizard. And again, sounds stupid, really, really fun in practice. The end game result for them was they were going to have thief. So with 3 levels of rogue to give the thief 2 bonus actions, 5 levels of ranger to get 2 attacks, making a character who could just rely on items like 2 bonus actions, drink all the potions, slap poison onto the thing, shoot the trick arrows that they have in the game they have like spell effects and blow up, throw in bombs, just somebody who has all those actions, left, right, and center. And then 2 levels of wizard, very specifically getting the transmutation school, so they have a good chance of getting double items whenever they make things. And I know that you can cheese that. You can get an extra character, hirelings or whatever, and turn them into a transmutation wizard. But since I wanted to actually play like a artisan, artificer, inventor character, I wanted them to do it. Plus, actually works out really fun because then you get a lot more uses of rogue ensnaring. So you get a lot more spell slots for the ensnaring strike, which you can get people to get disadvantage on. Because again, I wanted a character who could look like I was doing trick arrows, traps, nets, shoot someone, not just have it blow up with a trick arrow, but also snare them down. That was the playstyle. Somebody who worked with tricks, traps, potions, and stuff like that. Stupid multi-class when you tell people I'm a wizard, ranger, rogue. Really fun in practice. So all my characters are supposed to play like that a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do. Now this one here, this just one that I'm making, is just sort of a thing about what I'm doing. This one is going to be a druid wizard. Again, very mad. Think it'll be a lot of fun to play. Do I want to do that? Because she's not going to worry about strength very much. I just hate not being able to carry things. You know what? I'm just going to do this for now. And I can obviously respec later if I need to, except this is an honor mode playthrough. So I just have to make sure I don't die before I get the chance to do anything. Cantrips. Do I want Thorn Whip? Or do I want Shillelagh? Shillelagh will be helpful for beating things up in melee. I mean, arguably, you kind of want both. I'll run with Shillelagh, because she's going to be a Spore Druid when I get that second level. So the theory behind this character, if we're just, when I say Druid Wizard, this character is very specifically going to be a mixture of Spore Druid and Abjuration Wizard. Mad? Yes. Also, possibly the most powerful summoner in the game. I mean, I suppose if I were to be multi-classing Druid and Necromancer, I suppose that might be a little bit stronger, because I would be having that boost to animated undead. But I think with Abjuration, in order to add a layer of protection onto those temporary hit points, they're going to be boosting me up. It's kind of the theory behind this character. Other characters that I was planning to do include What were my other combos? Excuse me a minute while I double check that. We have our Sorcerer Rogue. I suppose not an uncommon combo, but definitely just sounds fun the way that I wanted to play that person. Necromancer Cleric of Life combo. A Brom, who is going to be a very fun combo of Paladin, Ranger, and Thief. A Fighter Bard, but very specifically a fighter that's not going to be taking enough fighters levels to get extra attack. Have some ideas for what I want to do with that person. And this spellcaster here, the Spore Druid and Wizard. And then another combo, which was going to be a Lore Bard, Dragon Sorcerer, and Wizard to create kind of an ultimate magic-using kind of character. And then, also just for fun, I'm going to be taking at some point a Dark Urge playthrough. That's also going to be my Jack of all trades, one level in every class. So, Honor Mode, level in every class, Dark Urge.
Where to next? Let's hope the locals are...
Hells, it's opened.
More of those wretched things.
Where to next? Let's hope the locals are friendly.
Be wary. This place is trapped.
Now, all of these characters are actually people that I have created before. If any of you happen to be familiar with any of my work, Spheres of Power, Drop Dead Studios, there are characters, you know, the iconics that we make. All of these characters are them, or someone that I played in an RPG or something like this. This character I'm making right now in the Pathfinder, she doesn't look right until I get the hair color. In the Pathfinder game version of Spheres of Power, we had a class called the Hedge Witch. In the Hedge Witch, the iconic was a tiefling hedge witch named Deema. She looked very much normal, except for that tail. You know, passes human, except for the tail. And yeah, that was who she is. So the class that I'm making, the combination of Druid and Wizard, in a lot of ways is trying to find a way to make a hedge witch without any mods in the game. Hedge Witch was a kind of a mid-level caster, Pathfinder, for those of you who only know D&D 5th edition, 1st edition Pathfinder, based on 3rd edition D&D rules. It had low casters, mid casters, high casters. It was a mid caster, so hits people with a stick, also has a bunch of magic. It was a really fun class. It was a way to kind of let you build a mid-caster the way that you wanted to. It was a very fun class. You got to build a lot of things. That was kind of the point of it. It was very much a multi-classer in a lot of things. You chose traditions. You got 2 traditions per character, and so you can make your character pseudo-cleric, pseudo-wizard, pseudo pretty much all the other casters. And it was an interesting way to let you kind of build your own thing. And so that's what I'm trying to recreate by combining Wizard and Druid as somebody who is very versatile. Can hit you with a stick, also has a bunch of Druid spells, a bunch of Wizard spells, a bunch of stuff that they can do that way. Now, that's just theory. How it works is she is going to be the ultimate summoner, because if you count the spells, that a Druid has 4 summoning spells that come online by level 9. A Wizard has 4 summoning spells come online by level 11. One of those spells is different between them. Only a Wizard, or only a Druid gains... Oh yeah, summoning. That's what I was talking about. So... Anyway, the Druid has 4 summoning spells that can come online by 9th level. At least the Spore Druid does, because they get Animate Dead, Summon Woodland being Summon Minor Elementals, Summon Elemental, so that's 4. Wizard gets 4, Animate Dead, Summon Minor Elemental, Summon Elemental, and then Create Undead, the 6th level spell. So, because of that quirk, where if you have a wizard, you can learn spells from scrolls of a higher level than you could otherwise cast as long as you have spell slots for it. If I can find anywhere in this game, if there exists a scroll of Create Undead, and because I am trying to do this slightly blind, I don't know, but I figure it must be there. I can learn it, and then she will have both the unique wizard summon and the unique druid summon. So what I want to do with this character is have all the summons. So cast Animate Dead up to 5th level, cast Summon Elementals 5th level, Create Undead is 6th level, and then Woodland Creature as a 4th level, and Minor Elemental as a 4th level. So I've spent all my 4th level and 5th level and 6th level slots at the beginning of every day to become a walking army. I think that sounds fun, to have at least one character who does. Then what she is going to be doing while her minions are doing this is going to be not frontline fighting as well as a fighter. If she could do that and summon an army, it would just be broken as heck. But she's going to be having the Spore Druid, temporary hit points, bonus damage to her attacks, and reaction extra damage that a Spore Druid can do. And then is going to be wrapping that bonus temporary hit points and bonus damage for attacks in an Abjuration shield. So temporary hit points, reduced damage on all attacks, so she's going to be, maybe if not frontline fighting, at least doing a pretty good job of sitting on the side and adding things in. And that is what this character is. So she'll be using Shield as a first level spell. She's used all her high level spells. She'll be saving her low level ones for shields to keep her going. So she may not. So what you end up with is a really powerful summoner who plays like a hedge witch. She doesn't have as much magic as maybe someone else does, but can beat you over the head and still has some second and third level spells to drop on board. That's kind of the theory. We'll see how it plays. The other characters, the other people that I had that I wanted to be playing with were some of those other combos that I mentioned. This opening I've seen so many times. I've been trying to create and recreate characters on Tactician mode. So like the other characters that are weird multi-classes, but I think should be a lot of fun to play that I'm going to be doing. So what was some of them? The other wizard character, the other ultimate caster, so wizard, bard, sorcerer. That one was going to be fun because it was going to be combining. There are two ways. Well, there's two wizard caster classes that have built in to what they do the ability to decrease the saves of whoever is being affected by them. The lore bard can insult someone as a reaction to reduce a saving throw. And the sorcerer at 3rd level can get a meta magic that gives people disadvantage to saves. So that character was going to be combining both of those with a Dippin' Wizard for that scroll exploit. I guess it's not really an exploit. Like in this game, that's, you know, the wizards don't get as much power as other people. In exchange, you can learn some higher level spells. So it was going to be combining all of that together. So wizard for higher level magic, sorcerer and druid for mid-level magic, all combined to create somebody who could, you cannot resist his saves. Whatever he wants to do to you happens. Oh well. You know, I thought I turned those off.
Let's see what this does.
Not everyone made it out alive.
Well, it's been so long since I've done this one. See, control is pulling that up. There.
outfit in my pack.
Visions project into your mind. A Nautiloid hurtling through the plains, resplendent with...
Anyway, so making it... Anyway, I was just saying, so making a spellcaster who cannot be resisted was the theory of the second one. But still having access to some of that higher level magic as well. That was where that was coming from. The other characters... The fighter lore bard I thought was going to be fun. That one was the ability to try to recreate a commander, a marshal. Not I said a marshal. In 4th edition, warlord, is that what they called it?
Where the hells are we?
In 4th edition, they created the warlord class, I think that's what it was called. Trying to create a martial character who could heal and boost, making a support caster that was martial. So that character is kind of, as best as I can, recreating that. So it's going to be a lore bard, so still a caster, and mixing it with fighter levels for Battle Master, because there's a bunch of Battle Master techniques that never get used in my experience. These Battle Master techniques are the ones that you allow one of your allies to make an attack. So you pretty much spend your attack to let someone else make an extra attack as a reaction.
Images of goblins, their habits...
I have no idea if it is worthwhile to carry those things or not. I am picking them up because it feels like that's what I would do.
Feeling penetrates your mind. Worlds beyond worlds flash before...
So, it was to make a character who did those things.
Flair horticulture.
A thousand years of humanoid history.
It's going to be a lore bard who specialized in all those the healing Battle Master technique, the let my ally attack Battle Master technique. So other things like that, just so didn't need to worry about using extra attack because wasn't really going to be attacking much. So how does this work? If I say save, yeah, it just does that. Just trying to do that. Combine it also with the shield combat power. So sits back with the casters, insults people to make their spells better, defends them with his shield, and then rallies his allies. Again, it's a thing that people would say you're kind of stupid for doing, because why wouldn't you take extra attack? Why would you make your fighter not fight? Therefore, I think very fun to see how it comes out the other end, how it actually feels. And let's see what happens. I am not used to playing characters without charisma.
Yes, you've come to save us from this place. From this place you'll free us.
The exposed brain quivers in expectation.
Please. Before they return. They return.
All right.
A
Talking to
newborn. Born new from this husk.
You realize you're talking to an intellect devourer, a minion of the mind flayers who abducted you.
Remove us
I know,
from this
I've
body.
seen this so many times.
From this case.
Can I
Free us.
investigate? Yes, I do know that. I swear that I said turn those off. Adding in guidance to everything I do.
You notice a Deema, a swelling of the brain causing pressure where it streams
Medicine,
against the shell of the
guidance.
skull.
Good. And we rip a brain out.
The brain lifts from the skull, but you notice an opportunity. You could cripple the strange creature, making it more subservient, should it prove a threat.
And I am not doing that. I've never had it work. This is the unfortunate problem of having at least played the first act before doing this honor playthrough. I've Done that before. It failed. I went and like did a whole thing to try to figure out what happens if you exceed. It does nothing.
Freedom is ours,
Really, like
friend.
ultimately.
The creature pauses, listening. Something behind your eyes seizes in recognition.
We must go to the helm. At the helm, we are needed.
And what should I call you?
Us.
Us.
We are us.
All right,
To the helm we go.
come with me. This is an honor playthrough. I am not going to risk doing it alone. Anyway, I'm gonna make other characters take them through the Nautiloid, so they're all made. And because this part I've seen so many times.
Abomination.
Your head throbs.
Skvar. You are no thrall. Within days, we will be gay. We can do nothing. First, we... As for that thing, it will remain...
Skipping through things, yes I am. You.
Time to push my luck again.
You. Shillelagh. That's right. What did I choose? Did I drop my... Yeah, I dropped my strength down. I got no strength on this character. I am going to... Shillelagh. I'm going to run up and
Blood
beat
follows
you.
me everywhere. I am fury. I am death.
Death.
It's as if.
I can do this, right? Who does that replenishing thing?
You prove surprisingly adequate. Now, to the helm.
Isn't companions?
What's in here?
Incinerated mind flare. Oh yes,
Light on my feet.
love that.
Cursed to put my hands on everything.
Better.
Ship won't be able to take another dragon attack. We need to get out before it's too late.
Yes, I know. First, I need to take everything that is not bolted to the floor. Oh, here we come in.
Gay machinery. I can make no sense of it.
I'm so used to doing that it feels weird to not. Oh, right, I almost forgot Longstrider.
Kittius. Arcane. Procreate.
This. You guys all here.
Cantor.
This is why I know that I need to go through
Bionic enemy.
and do this. Because I don't like how much I already know about this game. I don't like that I already know what to do. I couldn't stand doing that in higher acts. So here I am going to... Yes, you can. Just doing my best
Never a dull moment.
to work as quickly as I can to not have to. This jump, you've got no jump ability whatsoever.
These boots have seen everything.
This.
These boots have seen everything.
I don't need to talk to her.
Good here, I hope.
How many hosts of these gay infected?
Open up.
That
Rain in a jar.
definitely running out of space already. And I already know there's nothing I can do for her, so I'm just going to go out here.
The console appears dormant. The console hums to life.
You know, the console.
Suddenly, then discomfort fades, and another sensation washes over you. Connection. You feel the a shiver runs across your mind.
At last. I thought that damn thing was going.
Your mind lurches into
You keep dangerous company.
Dangerous companies would
Let me
be
come
in a
with you.
fight.
We can get off this
Right.
Shadowheart. It's nothing.
Enough of this.
She's right.
I come here,
Wish I had
that
a bag
dark
of holding.
mind. Here and do
My
that.
faith will guide me.
You, again, this is why I don't like how much knowledge I have and why I need to do all my playthroughs at the same time. Because I know that coming up, I can... Which one was it? I mean, I don't need that. I need command. If I do that, I can get myself a special sword. And I don't like the fact that I know that so well.
Worth a shot?
We are nearing the helm.
What to do?
Alright, you.
Should mind my step.
Do it. We will. Connect the. We need to get out of here now.
Yes. Understood. You shillelagh yourself. I'm going
Shouldn't have
to
made
just
me
take some
your
people
enemy.
on. Okay. Items. Still doing all right. Now you are going to leap a chasm.
What should I do? Heading there.
You are going to come up. sword.
Anything of use? Need to find a way forward.
Right, I forgot to equip a ranged weapon on you.
What lies within? On the move. Let's end this.
Alright, you are now going to see what I can do. Can I make you drop your weapon? Yes! We're now going to run up and grab it. And now you are going to sit there slightly awkwardly. No, you're going to jump. You're going to hit.
Don't waste a step.
Ignore the devil. We must take the transponder.
My path be true. Can't afford to let up. Gotta fetch that.
I know, like, I don't think it would be possible to take this person down. I'm sure somebody has. I have not. Dang it all, part of me wants to try on an honor mode playthrough, see if I can fight my way through literal devil. But you know what? I think that's as far as it's gonna go. I don't think I'm going to actually try that.
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
I am going to shoot you. Oh, come on.
be on my way.
Yeah, there they are. The other guy's coming. Anything else I haven't picked up? Oh, I missed those.
Taking position.
There we go.
My faith will protect me.
Now.
Better give it a try.
The helm's alien trans...
Excuse me. And there we go. First person in place. I think I'm going to very quickly make all of my other people and take them through this introduction. Okay, I've gone ahead and I have made 6 characters, is what it turns out. I'm leaving the dark, what is it, the dark one, the Dark Urge. I'm leaving that run through for later. But I have made 6 characters for Honor Mode, all various multi-class combinations, and we should show them to you. Some of them I've advanced forward a little bit, just taking through them a bit of the tutorial. Some of them are still right at the beginning. So, first up, we have Brom, who is a Paladin Rogue hybrid, which is not traditionally done, and most people, if they do it, are, well, they're going to be running around and fencing. This is not. So what makes this different, other than Paladin and Rogue doesn't normally mix, is I'm really trying to build this character around the idea of... Okay, so in Pathfinder... First edition, which is based off of D&D, they had a line of feats you could take called Dirty Trick, and I made a paladin once who took the Dirty Trick feats. I'm like, it's a paladin that fights dirty. Cool, be fun. This is that idea translated into 5e and then translated into BG3. So he is a paladin, but he is a paladin that fights dirty. And what does that mean? Well, he is a Oath of the Ancients, so he's going to get Ensnaring Strike. I'll take 1 level of Ranger later so I can get advantage, or the enemy gets disadvantage to saves against Ensnaring Strike, so I can just tie them in a knot right then and there. I'm also going to be taking 2, maybe 3 levels of Rogue for Thief, so I can get that extra bonus action, so I can also get those bonus action abilities. Also, because I really, really wanted to have advantage on Intimidation and Athletics. So what I mean, when I say that he is a rogue paladin, I don't mean that he's going to be some sort of swashbuckler with a finesse weapon. What he's probably going to do is maybe dual wield, if I can get up that, so I still have a second-hand finesse weapon that can get my sneak attacks in and get double the amount of Divine Smites. But it's someone who has athletics up the wazoo and is going to be leaping across the field, shoving people off of cliffs, and then tying them up, and then beating their heads in. Not the traditional setup if you're going to be mixing these characters, but I think it should be really fun. Next character here is Deema. Next character here is Deema. She is the only one that is not multi-classed at the moment, because it takes 2 levels of Druid in order to choose your subclass and start being a Spore Druid, and that's her whole primary shtick. But she is going to be mixing Spore Druid and Wizard eventually. Now, if you are going to be doing that, that's an unorthodox combo, but probably what you would be doing if you did would be mixing the Circle of Spores Druid, because they get Animate Dead and they get like a special extra animated zombies, with a Necromancer Wizard for increased zombie power. I'm not doing that. What I'm doing with this person is going to be mixing Spore Druid and Abjuration Wizard. Spore Druid is going to give me all sorts of summons, including the extra zombies and Animate Dead spell. Wizard is going to give me the high-level Create Undead spell, if I can find a scroll of it. Don't know if it exists or not. And I'm going to be using Abjuration to wrap around the temporary hit points of a Circle of Spores Druid to keep her stronger. So, Circle of Spores Druid, if you're not aware, they have a special ability where you give yourself temporary hit points, and while those temporary hit points are active, you get all sorts of benefits. You get extra damage on your attacks, you have a reaction attack that you can use, and it does double strength as long as those temporary hit points are in. So you're going to be using Abjuration to protect those temporary hit points. Now, why would I do that? Really? Because, I mean, Spore Druid, even with those Abjuration protection wrapped around your temporary hit points, is only going to be a middling fighter. I mean, pretty decent, I think, compared to other people going to front lines that really can't. But why would I do this instead of making like a Bard who would also have spells and also be a middling fighter with much less hassle? One is the sheer number of summons. Bards do not get any summons. If you're a lore Bard, you can get 2. She'll have 5. And I also really want to have fun with it in ways. I love Bards. I love Bards to death, but I'm very curious to see what playing a protected Spore Druid is going to play like, and I really think that it will be a lot of fun. Plus, I just want to see how far I can push the personal army. I could solo this entire game because I am Legion. This here is Soren. Soren is currently a Bard Sorcerer, but I'm going to be mixing Wizard in there as well. I know Bard and Sorcerer is not necessarily an unorthodox combination, but I want to see what happens when I play with that special thing that Baldur's Gate 3 has with Wizards, that you can use scrolls to learn those high-level spells, so I can make a 3-style multi-classed caster and still have 5th and 6th level spells. So, Bard, gonna go lore Bard, so I can insult people as a reaction to decrease their saving throws. Sorcerer, Dragon Sorcerer, so I can also have some, as much as I can equip light armor, I want to be able to use some of those cool casting things. Casting armors that aren't armors. It also allow me to give disadvantage on saving throws. And then Wizard is going to be those high-level spells that I can still do, and I want to see what I can do with that, with a character who is just so versatile at magic that you cannot resist his saves. When he hits you with something, I just realized I don't know if I can use the Sorcerer power on Wizard spells, the meta magic on Wizard spells. I think I can. This could turn out to be a horrible experiment, and we'll see how it plays out once I have the chance to actually try that in combat. But I am very excited to see what this person can do, mixing all of those abilities together to just dominate people. Next up, we have Katt here. Interesting character, again, based off of a old iconic from the Pathfinder days, Spheres of Power. Katt was supposed to be like a vampire child or something. I had a lot of fun making this very like esoteric and unknown. The point is those options don't exist, so what we instead have is a gnome. Cleric Wizard, going to be mixing Life Cleric and Necromancy Wizard, which is thematic. It is fun and cool. You're a Soul Weaver. You're like a white Necromancer. Also, from a build perspective, wanting to play with being, again, having my own little like private army, like I was doing with Deema. Not quite as big, but empowering my own people. So I'm going to be using Necromancy Wizard to create a nice little legion of undead, nice little kill squad that'll be stronger than normal. And then I'm also going to be boosting them with aid, boosting them with bless, those spells that a life cleric just kind of gets. So they become even stronger, and send them out as a crack undead team to kill things while she sits there in the back being perfectly safe and fun. So I was originally thinking of going like straight 11 levels of wizard, 1 level of cleric, but due to the way that the scrolls work, I can still get, the high level spells. If maybe I go maybe half and half, we'll see. This character I want to play with, and again, see what not just works in some sort of end game theory build, but literally what works building through the whole thing. Next up, we have Skew here. Now, Skew is a rogue sorcerer, which is not necessarily a unorthodox multi-class combo, but still, I think I may be taking it in a way that most people might not. Skew is the ultimate kind of Diplomancer. So he is, pull up here, he has deception, performance, persuasion. I just realized I did not want that. I forgot to make his skills what I wanted them to be, but I can restat him later with the undead guy, Withers. I did not want necessarily this. This isn't a terrible setup. The point of him was, I wanted to have expertise in deception and, like, persuasion. He is a Diplomancer. He is the world's most mind-controlling person that I could come up with. But what I wanted to do with that then was having that expertise, deception and persuasion, having mind control magic with charm person and dominate person, stuff like that, with a sorcerer, so I can give people disadvantage on the saves. So he just mind controls people, and he can talk to you and make you do whatever he wants to do. That's kind of the setup for him. Now, the big question that I think most people would have is, therefore, why not play a lore bard? I would get also expertise that I could throw in some things. I would also get mind control magic, and I can do the insulting people as a reaction to decrease their saves. I could do that way, so why am I doing it this way? The reason why I'm doing it this way is because, first off, having that level of rogue, maybe 2 levels of rogue, 3 at the max, if I want to play with more thief skills, the thief double bonus action, that gives me a much stronger backup plan. I do like the classic rogue fighting style of bonus action, zipping across the place, hiding, jumping out, getting people. I'd still be able to do that. I'd have a little bit of sneak attack. It would be fun. And also, if I'm going to be the world's most powerful Diplomancer, having a level of wild magic sorcerer lets me do that. The Tides of Chaos ability, I can just give myself advantage on a ability check. So if I am in a situation where perhaps I'm low on magic, I can't afford enhance ability on my charisma, and I don't want to use the friend cantrip with him because that one then stops working. I might use it, I might not. I just wanted the idea that I can do this reliably and give myself advantage and pass every social check without consequences because he's just that smooth. So I think that it will be fun. I think it will be more fun than if I just played a straight lore bard and more effective. That being said, if he's not the bard, but he has a teammate that's a bard, then I can also add bardic inspiration on top of things because you can't inspire yourself if you are the bard. So again, I can pass every single social check. That is his thing. And for the last character, I have here Owen. That's what I called him. I figure I need at least one Githyanki to see what the game looks like. With that, what might be different. And he is a fighter bard, which again is not necessarily an uncommon multi-class combo, but the build I'm particularly working with him is. So he is going to be primarily a lore bard, so casting spells, insulting people to decrease their saves or their attack rolls or things like that. And the levels of fighter are going to be just a dip. One level, I'm planning on 3 levels, not more than that, unless I really need a feat for a 4th, but I'm not going to go 5, because I am not getting extra attack, because extra attack would be kind of worthless on this guy. We're going to be getting the Battle Master techniques, but the Battle Master techniques that allow me to let an ally make an extra attack, or heal people as a free action. And he also has the fighting style, where he is going to be having protection. He's going to be having a shield, and he gives disadvantage to attacks on anyone near him. So he is a fighter, but what he is very much designed to do is sit in the back while his allies go forward. He's going to be protecting people. He could either be in the front trying to keep them alive, or he'll be in back protecting casters while the melee fighters are off doing their thing so that he can protect them. He will be healing people from the back. He'll be rallying them. He is a marshal. He is a commander. He is not a frontline fighter. And that sounds like a very interesting thing to me, because from what I hear people theory build, those Battle Master techniques of letting someone else attack as a reaction or the healing people, almost nobody uses those. So this character is built around getting those Battle Master techniques and seeing what building a character around them looks like. And for everything else he's going to be doing then will be lore bard, like 9 levels of lore bard. So while I'm in the back protecting people with my shield, rallying them, I also have some more fun things that I can do. I don't want anyone to be a one-trick pony. That doesn't work in games like this, and especially doesn't work if you are, if your primary ability is something a little bit more obscure, a little bit more specific. Now, I'm not going to be taking these 6 people through all at the same time. I'm not going to make people watch that, but I'm going to be taking one through, maybe Act 1, then I'm going to take the other one through, make some different choices. Nothing insane. I don't want to risk actually dying, but see what different choices look like. See what different things could happen. I think I'm going to have a lot of fun taking these people through and showing it to you. All right, thank you, everyone. That is the first episode. That's our setup, so you know what I'm doing and how this is going to be playing out. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe so that you can see everything else that we do, and I hope that this is as fun for you as it probably is going to be for me.